go to this poisoning case in the UK. It's falling apart. The official line is falling apart, Mark.
Well, I don't see that at all. We've just had an Easter miracle.
Oh, yeah. That's a good way of putting it. That's what we should call this program, the Easter miracle.
We have a Novichok. This is a word created by the West that has nothing to do with the supposed Soviet program, right? This supposed nerve agent, 10 times more powerful than VX. That's what we're told, right? So far, out of the 3 supposed victims of it, we've got a cop out walking the streets just fine, talking to the press, and then the double agent, the British spy's daughter, evidently
miraculously.
She's speak now.
She's already on social media.
We had a headline in the Telegraph, right? One day it was poisoned Russian spy and daughter should be allowed to die, says friend. 36 hours later in the Telegraph, Russian spy's daughter is conscious and talking nearly a month after chemical attack.
That's what I call a seasonally appropriate resurrection. Happy Easter, guys. That's what I call a seasonally appropriate resurrection. But it's not the only strange thing about this poisoning. Let me just give you all the versions that they had before. That Mr. Skripal and his daughter were sprayed by a passerby. That they were contaminated from a drone. That someone has inserted this this poison in his car. Now we find out.
And then there was a smeared. And then there was a smeared door. Where
no. Now we have the smeared door.
Now we have the smeared door.
So they removed the door.
Yeah, and the door they removed it. So we have no way to know where it was smeared from the outside or from the inside.
This is the
if from the inside,
thing,
there's someone familiar to the Skripals.
This is the interesting thing about this door theory, right? Because supposedly this is a contact nerve poison in some type of liquid or powder form on the door. They touched it. They supposedly left the house at 9 o'clock in the morning and didn't collapse in the park until 4 o'clock. So this is a nerve agent 10 times more powerful than VX that somehow has a 7-hour onset time.
Amazing.
And then you recover after a month with evidently no ill effects.
But the damage has been done, and the intention of this has been played out. Go
exactly.
ahead.
Actually, from what Mark and Dmitry said, it becomes very obvious why the British denied Russian authorities, members of the Russian consulate, access to these Russian citizens. Yulia Skripal is a Russian citizen, and by any, by international law, they had to give access. Why wouldn't they want to give them access? Because we don't know what really happened to Skripal and his daughter, or if anything at all happened to them.
If anything at all happened
exactly.
to them.
So, but
maybe it was bad sushi. Who knows?
But or maybe it was something else that the British and the Americans passed to them or didn't pass to them. Maybe nothing happened at all to them. We don't know. There is no evidence presented anywhere. But, as you correctly pointed out, what matters today is perception, not reality. And the perception is created by the massive anti-Russian propaganda, Russophobic propaganda in British, European, American press.
Because you have the U.S. State Department saying, well, we'll take the word of our British colleagues.
And today, the atmosphere is such that you could accuse Russia and Russians of any possible crime, of any possible violation, and unfortunately the majority of people in Western countries would believe it.
No, the majority of the media. I don't think a lot of people are buying on this. Go real quick,
no
and I want to get both of you before we go to the break.
Well, I think it's just like the arson of Reichstag. It's still not clear who did it. You know, the Dutch radicals aided by the Jews, as Hitler said, or Hitler himself. The consequences are so terrible that people now are not even caring about what really happened with that Reichstag in February 1933. In the same way here, their attitude is like, let's move on. Okay, forget about that door. The Russians expelled 60 American diplomats. They are destroying our relations. Well, you sent 60 Russian diplomats first.
We're going to talk about that in the next.